Friends, there's no way to sugarcoat it. The partial pullback from Kherson region was politically disappointing. The obvious reason for this is because the region had voted to reunify with Russia in late September. Therefore, the argument can be made that Russia has pulled its military forces out of part of one of its constituent territories. Having said that, there is some nuance, and it's important to mention here. Russia had yet to officially delineate its new international frontiers. That being the case, it can officially be said that perhaps the right bank of Kherson region was not yet officially part of Russia, but because its people did participate in the referendum, that's a bit of a moot point. Now, moving forward, from the humanitarian perspective and military ones, this move was obvious and is rational. The reason being is that Army General Surovikin had mentioned that Kiev is plotting to blow up the Kakhovka Dam. This is old news. It has yet to happen, thank God. But in the event that it does, this scenario is being held over those peoples and the armed forces' heads like a Damocles sword, because it would utterly devastate them and isolate those who survive. That being the case, and considering the fact that Kiev has full Western backing in carrying out such large-scale terrorist attacks, there is no doubt that since it is a plausible scenario, it makes sense to take preemptive measures to safeguard the civilian population and the armed forces tasked with defending them. There's also another point to make as well, and it's that in this conflict, it was never over territory. Yes, part of it was over defending Donbass, but that was the extent of the territorial aims of the special operation. The main reason was to neutralize the impending military threat coming out of Kiev from NATO. Now, we can argue back and forth over what has been achieved thus far and what hasn't, but the fact of the matter is that this was not about territory. Therefore, those that are trying to spin any type of partial pullback from part of Russia or part of land that was considered to be part of Russia, mind you, as some type of Russian loss, that's not exactly true. This has always been about military and strategic affairs. Of course, it's important to protect civilians living in certain areas of the land, but they can be protected inside the Russian hinterland. So keep that in mind when assessing events. Again, it's disappointing, but don't fall for doom and gloom.